So hello, a very good evening to all. I hope my voice is audible to all of you, right? सबको आवाज आ रही है ना मेरी?
Yes, sir.
चलो, good. ठीक है. So in this class, basically we are going to see some numericals on the chapter chemical kinetics. ठीक है? So in this, we are going to see some numerical related to the chemical kinetic because in the last two, three class, we already cover all the important topic of this chapter, chemical kinetics. Regarding we already covered the zero order reaction, first order reaction, Arrhenius equation, temperature dependent on the equation. So these all things we already covered. So in today class and in today class basically, we are going to see some numericals, right? And these numericals are very important because all these numerical are the previous year questions of JEE Mains, IIT, right? And some questions of NEET are also included. Okay, good. So we are going to see all this equation. Let me just give me a second. All go. ठीक है. चलो. So this is the first question, right? So all of you need to answer the question, right? So according to the Arrhenius equation, rate constant K is equal to AE minus EA divided by RT. So which of the following option represent the graph of ln K versus 1 by T? So natural log K versus 1 by T. So which of the following graph will represent the correct one? Yes. Sir, we have not covered this syllabus yet. If possible, please discuss again. Okay, we plan a session for this, right? We plan a session in which we are going to just make this quick revision of this chapter, right? So please try to आज इसको समझो तुम understand करो. In a couple of days, we try to make a separate plan for you guys, right? Okay. So according to the Arrhenius equation, rate constant K is equal to AE minus EA by RT. This is the general equation for the Arrhenius equation. Now, which of the following options represent the correct graph, right? So many of you are saying option A. Okay. So let me discuss this thing and then we'll get to know which option is correct. So we all know this thing when you derive the formula, you'll get log K is equal to log A, and this is equal to minus EA divided by 2.303 RT. Right. This is what we have. Okay. Chalo. So this is what we have. So in terms of natural log, we can write as ln K is equal to ln A, and this is equal to EA divided by RT only, because we know that whenever you want to change from ln to log, we just multiply by 2.303. Similarly, if you want to change from log to ln, just divide by 2.303. Okay. So this is the graph we got. So in the y-axis, we have ln K. In the intercept form, we have ln A, and this is represent the slope, right? This is EA or R. This represents the slope, which is a negative slope. This is the negative slope. So which of the following option? That is option number A. सबने बिल्कुल सही बोला था, all of you. Mostly सबने A ही बोला था और A ही इसका correct answer भी है. So option A is absolutely correct. चलो. The next question, this is also very important. सभी try करो solve करने का. Which of the following graphs represent exothermic reaction? So you have to identify which of the following graph represent the exothermic reaction, right? So this is the reactant we have, this is the product, and this is the activated complexes. So out of this 1, 2, 3, which one represent the exothermic reaction? फटाफट बताओ. Anyone? किसी का आंसर नहीं है अभी कुछ भी? जो भी लग रहा है फटाफट बताओ जल्दी से बेटा. ओके, दो रिप्लाईज आए हैं बी. ओके, यानी टू ओनली. अच्छा, कुछ बच्चे बोल रहे हैं 2 ओनली। जेएनबी भावनगर ने भी बी बोला है, जेएनबी। चलो, so what do you, let us discuss this thing. What do you mean by this term exothermic? We all know that exothermic means what? Exothermic means exothermic. So exothermic means when the energy is released, that is negative energy. ठीक है, तो नेगेटिव एनर्जी को बोलते हैं, नेगेटिव एनर्जी इज नोन एज एक्सोथर्मिक। सो फॉर द एक्सोथर्मिक, एनर्जी ऑफ द रिएक्टेंट, energy of the reactant must be greater than the energy of the product, right? तभी तो होगा नेगेटिव एनर्जी, when the energy of the reactant is greater than the energy of the product, right? This is the case for the exothermic reaction, because in exothermic reaction, basically energy is released, that is a negative energy we have. So in which of the following graph we have energy of a reactant is greater than the energy of the product? So if you look at the third graph, in this the reactant energy and the product energy are almost same. In the second graph also their energy is almost remain same, or we can say that the product energy is much more as compared to reactant, right? Product energy having some more energy as compared to the reactant. Now, if you're comparing the equation 1, we can see that the reactant energy is much more as compared to product energy, right? Because the energy of reactant is here somewhat, and the energy of the product is here somewhat. So we can say that there is the energy difference between these two, right? And energy of reactant is much more as compared to energy of the product. So this represent, that is option A, this represent the exothermic reaction. So always remember, whenever the questions are coming related to the exothermic, always remember just one thing. For the exothermic reaction, the energy of the reactant must be more than the energy of the product. And similar for the endothermic reaction, energy of the product must be more than compared to the energy of the reactant. So for this, option A only correct, that is A, because A include one only. So only option A is correct. Okay? Chalo. Now, this question is also very important. This question come in the JEE Mains 2019. So, फटाफट बताइए क्या होना चाहिए इसका आंसर? आइडेंटिफाई द इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट। तो सबसे पहले दिमाग लगाओ, इसमें आपको इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट को आइडेंटिफाई करना है, ठीक है? सो सबसे पहले बात करते हैं, वी हैव अ रिएक्शन कोऑर्डिनेट एंड वी हैव अ एंथैल्पी। So between the enthalpy and the reaction coordinate, we get this graph. And now they are asking, consider the given plot of enthalpy of the reaction between A and B, and this will give C and D. So you have to identify the incorrect statement. The first one is D is kinetically stable product. So they are asking D is kinetically stable product. Yes, we can see that D is very stable product, right? So their stability is more. How will you know their stability is more? Whenever the energy is less, we can say that their stability is very much more. Right. Now the formation of A and B from C, that is formation of A and B from C, has a highest enthalpy, has a highest enthalpy of activation. ठीक है, तो ये भी correct है, ये भी correct है. Now C is the thermodynamically stable product. So C is the thermodynamically stable product. How we can say that beta C is the thermodynamically stable product? So for the thermodynamically stable product, the energy must be low, right? So C having the minimum energy, so we can say that they are the thermodynamically stable product. Now activation enthalpy to form C is 5 kilojoule per mole. So activation energy to form C is 5 kilojoule per mole. No, this is not the correct. And less than that of D, less than that of D, which is not correct, right? So 5 kilojoule per mole तो बिल्कुल नहीं है, and less than that of that to form D, right? So option D जो है बेटा वो इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है. ऑप्शन डी का कुछ भी लेना देना नहीं है इस गिवन ग्राफ के साथ. So we can say that option D is absolutely incorrect, right? Because activation energy is what? Activation energy is the extra energy required by a reactant molecule that result into the effective collision between them to form the product. So this is the definition of the activation energy. That is, activation energy is always the extra amount of energy required by a reactant to molecule that result into effective collision to form the product. So always remember this thing, right? And why only statement D is incorrect? Because correct statement is activation enthalpy to form C is 15 kilojoule. Right. Activation energy to form C is how much? That is, this is the activation energy to form C is around 15 kilojoule per mole. More than 5 kilojoule per mole that is required to form A plus B. ठीक है, तो A plus B बनने के लिए कितना चाहिए था? 5 plus 5 किलो जूल चाहिए था। एंड सी बनने के लिए कितना एनर्जी चाहिए बेटा हम लोग को? अराउंड 15 किलो जूल का एनर्जी चाहिए। ठीक है, दैट्स व्हाई दिस इज अ रॉन्ग स्टेट। क्लियर है? चलो, नाउ दिस इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 71। दिस क्वेश्चन इज आल्सो वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। So what this question asks basically, what is question number 71? So they are asking a reactant A form two product. That is, they having the two rate constant K1 and K2. So A, with the help of K1, they form V and their activation energy is EA1. Similarly, A in the presence of K2, they form C and their activation energy EA2. Now EA2 is twice of EA1. So EA2 is twice of EA1. Then K1 and K2 are related. So you have to identify how K1 and K2 are related to each other. Okay? So we know that it's a very formula based question. We know that what is K. So we can better write K1. So K is equal to A, E minus E by R2. So we can say that this is E and this is A1 divided by RT. Similarly, what is K2? So KT is nothing, but this is also equal to A dash minus EA2 divided by RT. Now, RA is the Arrhenius pre-exponential constant or Arrhenius constant, you can say that. Okay. Now, in the question, already it is given that EA2 is equal to twice of EA1. Okay. That is EA1 is twice of EA1. So we can write as, how will you write this equation? We'll write that K2 is equal to A dash E and this is minus 2EA divided by RT. ठीक है? So this is what we have K2. So बस K2 और K1 को divide कर दो. So what you will get? That is K1 divided by K2. So what you will get बेटा? K1 divided by K2. जल्दी फटाफट बताओ. K1 divided by K2. क्या left रहेगा? A dash A will get cancel out each other. ठीक है? Because we are using this formula, na? This is the K2. Okay, this is the new K2. And for the K1, we all know that the EA2 is equal to twice of EA1. So we can write this equation. So K1 by K2. So क्या बचेगा यहाँ पे सिर्फ K1 by K2. That is EA1 divided by RT. So on solving, you'll get K1 is equal to K2 EA, ठीक है, पॉजिटिव हो जाएगा, and divided by RT. So this is what you get. ठीक है? So this is the correct explanation. That is K1 is equal to K2EA1, K2EA1, K2EA1 by RT. So that is B option. किसी को भी हो जिसको समझ नहीं आया हो एक बार दोबारा पूछ लो. जिसको भी समझ नहीं आया हो, just raise your hand. सबको क्लियर है? इसको यूज करना था, ये जो हेल्प दे रखा है. That is the K2 is that is given that is EA2 is equal to twice of EA1. ठीक है, चलो. So ये क्वेश्चन भी 2023 का है, 2023 13 अप्रैल इवनिंग फिफ्थ क्वेश्चन. So what the question asks? That is A plus A gives us 2B plus C is a first order reaction. The initial pressure was found to be 800 mm of HD. To increase 600, sir, solve the last part. Okay, just wait बेटा. किसमें डाउट है? देख, मैं इसको एक बार दोबारा सॉल्व कर देता हूँ. जिन भी बच्चों को समझ नहीं आया है उनके लिए एक बार मैं दोबारा इसको सॉल्व कर देता हूँ कि कैसे ये वैल्यूज आ रही है. देख, यहाँ तक तो बहुत अच्छे से क्लियर है तुम लोगों को. ठीक है, यहाँ तक एकदम अच्छे से क्लियर है कि वी नो दैट K1 इज इक्वल टू क्या होता है, तो हम सबको पता है कि K1 की वैल्यूज हम लोगों को यहाँ पे दे रखे, कितना कितना दे रखा है वो भी पता है कि दैट इज K1 इज इक्वल टू ए डैश। ठीक है, मैं दोबारा लिख देता हूँ, इरेजर लेने दो, पूरा ही लिख देता हूँ दोबारा, ठीक है। जिसको भी समझ नहीं आया जस्ट लुक एट दिस टाइम। वी नो फ्रॉम द आर्गेनियस इक्वेशन, क्या पता आर्गेनियस इक्वेशन से, कि K इज इक्वल टू ए ई की पावर माइनस ई ए बाई आर। सो दिस इज द स्टैंडर्ड इक्वेशन फॉर द आर्गेनियस। ठीक है। नाउ in this we have a a to b through k1 and a to c through k2. So we can write as, what is k1? So k1 is nothing but is equal to a, right? Or we can say this is a dash, this is e minus ea1 divided by r. So this is equation number 1. Similarly for k2 we can write as, for k2, that is a, for K2. So this will comes out to be A dash, this is E minus 2EA। ठीक है, ये ध्यान रखना, 2EA, क्लियर है, 2EA, 2EA डिवाइडेड बाई आर। ये क्यों लिखा भाई 2EA? बिकॉज हम लोग को ऑलरेडी पता है ना, यहाँ पे दे रखा है कि जो EA2 है, EA2 वो किसके इक्वल है, ट्वाइस ऑफ EA1 के। तो यहाँ पे EA2 लिखना था वैसे तो, लेकिन EA2 की जगह ट्वाइस ऑफ EA1 लिख सकता हूँ कि नहीं, जल्दी बताओ, लिख सकता हूँ ना, बिकॉज ऑलरेडी गिवन है EA2 इज इक्वल टू ट्वाइस ऑफ EA1, दिस इज ऑलरेडी गिवन। सो कुछ नहीं करना है, जस्ट इसको आप सॉल्व कर लो। सो ऑन सॉल्विंग इफ यू डिवाइड K1 बाई K2, क्या क्या कैंसिल हो गया बेटा, K1 और K2 को डिवाइड करोगे तो a डैश कैंसिल हो गया, a डैश कैंसिल हो गया, और e एक्सपोनेंशियल भी कैंसिल हो गया। तो क्या बचा है यहाँ पे, यहाँ पे यही तो बचा है कि अगर आप बोलो, अगर इसको पावर ले जाओ, अगर e है और यहाँ पे बचा है EA1 डिवाइडेड बाई R2, ये है। और ऊपर मैं और क्या बोल रहा हूँ कि इसको ले जाओ, तो ये हो गया प्लस का, ये -2 था ना तो प्लस हो गया, तो दिस विल इक्वल टू 2 एंड दिस इज EA1 डिवाइडेड बाई RT। तो खुद सोचो, E माइनस A1 RT और ये है प्लस का 2EA1 RT, तो दो में से एक गया, कितना बचा, 1 ही तो बचा। सो दिस विल लेफ्ट, क्या लेफ्ट बचा, दैट इज EA1 डिवाइडेड बाई RT। तो यही तो लेफ्ट बचा, तो दिस इज द K1 विच इज इक्वल मल्टीप्लाई बाई K। तो ये निकाला था हमने। सो K1 इज इक्वल टू K2 एंड मल्टीप्लाई बाई EA1 डिवाइडेड बाई RT। नाउ दिस इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन और नॉट, फटाफट बताओ, जिसका डाउट था उसको क्लियर हुआ। JNB खो गई। Now this is clear to you? Yes? Good. चलो, now this is also a very important question. सभी लोग फटाफट एक बार देखो इसको कैसे solve करोगे। So 2A plus 2A gives us B plus C is the first order reaction. The initial pressure of the system was found to be 800 mm Hg, which increased to 1600 mm of Hg after 10 minutes. So you have to calculate the total pressure of the system after the 30 minutes, right? So total pressure of the system after the 30 minutes क्या होगा, total pressure of the system? You need to calculate this value. फटाफट देखो, सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द गुड क्वेश्चन वी कैन से। तो मैं सॉल्व करता हूँ पहले फटाफट, क्योंकि स्टार्टिंग क्वेश्चन है तो मैं थोड़ा सा हिंट देता हूँ, देन यू आर ट्राई टू सॉल्व दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन। ठीक है, चलो। तो एट 10 मिनट्स, एट 10 मिनट्स क्या बोला है क्वेश्चन में, आफ्टर 10 मिनट्स, राइट, विच इज इंक्रीज बाई ट्वाइस, यानी प्रेशर इज इंक्रीज बाई ट्वाइस। So at 10 minutes, the pressure increased by, pressure increased by 2x. ठीक है, so at 10 minutes, pressure increased by 2x. So we can write as, how will you write beta? That is 800 pressure प्लस कितना इंक्रीज हुआ है, दैट इज 2x विच इज इक्वल टू 1600. This is given in this question. देखो, the initial pressure of the system was found to be 800 mm of Hg, which is increased to 1600 mm Hg after 10 minutes. ठीक है, after 10 minutes. यानी 800 plus 2x is equal to 1600. So we can say that on solving you'll get x is equal to 400. X is equal to 400. Now what is the rate constant? So we can find the rate constant, that is K. So rate constant is equal to 2.303 upon time. कितने मिनट पे निकालना है? 10 मिनट. And this is log R naught upon R. So what is the R naught? So initial pressure is found to be 800. And what is the T? That is equal to 400. So just you need to solve this. How will you solve this? 2020 get cancelled. This is 4 to the 8. This will become 2. So you can easily solve. That is 2.303 divided by 10 into log 2 having value 0.3010. So just solve this value. ठीक है, तो फटाफट सॉल्व करो, कितना आ जाएगा आंसर. तो जैसे आप इसको सॉल्व करेंगे you'll get the answer. ठीक है, कि कितना आ रहा है, k is equal to 2.303 upon 10. So this is after the 10 minutes. Rate constant can be found after 10 minutes. Now on the similar basis, if I say calculate after 30 minutes. So this after 30 minutes. So this is equal to 2.303 upon 30. And this is log 800 initial pressure minus 800 minus, ठीक है, 800 minus y. So how will you solve this question as well? So we can solve this question because we get the two values. Rate constant can be found as for the 10 minutes and the 30 minutes. So they are saying the total pressure of the system after 30 minutes will be. So they're asking after 30 minutes. So we can solve this. How will you solve this beta? Because 2.303 into log 2, that is 0.3010 divided by 10, and this is equal to 2.303 30, and this is equal to log 800, and this is 800 minus 1. Now you just need to calculate the value of I on solving. So when you solve, you get the value of I is 700. Because here only one unknown is there now. So you can calculate the value of 7, which is comes equal to 700. So this is 700. ठीक है, चलो ये क्वेश्चन कौन बताएगा भाई, फटाफट बताओ जल्दी से, बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, तो जल्दी से बता दो फटाफट. That is the reaction 2NO plus Br2. That is the reaction 2NO plus Br2 gives us 2NOBr. Takes place through the mechanism given below. That is NO plus Br2 is equal to NOBr2. NOBr2 again react with NO to form 2NOBr. That is the slowest step. So this is the slowest step, also known as rate determining step. Okay. Now what is the overall order of the reaction? So you need to calculate the overall order of this equation. I'll just give you 5 seconds because बहुत easy question है, फटाफट निकालो. What is the overall order of this reaction? बताओ. We already discussed this thing in the previous class. That is the order of reaction is defined is for the elementary steps only. And if the complex steps are there more than one step, then you need to identify which one is the RDS. That is the rate determining step. So out of this, which one of the is the slowest step? That is the second one. Huh? That is the second. So someone saying the overall order is 2. चलो सही बोल रहे हैं सब क्या? How will you calculate this beta? 2. ठीक है, और किसी का आंसर कुछ आ रहा है? देखो, तो this is the second order reaction, the first order respect to NOBr and the first order respect to the NO, right? So this is the first order respect to this, यानी R is equal to क्या हो जाएगा? NO PR के रिस्पेक्ट में भी एक है, NO के बीच में भी एक है, यानी this is equal to, ठीक है. Now next question, क्या है इस क्वेश्चन में? So they are asking the number of incorrect statement from the following. So you have to identify which statement is correct. Sorry, incorrect. So number of incorrect statement among the following. बताओ कौन सा तुम्हें गलत लग रहा है? इन सभी ऑप्शंस में से? The successive half-life of zero-order reaction decrease with time. Substance appearing a reactant in the chemical equation may not be affected by the rate of reaction. Order and molecularity of the chemical reaction can be fractional number, and the rate constant unit of zero in the second order is this. So the number of incorrect statements from the following. कितने incorrect statements हैं बताओ जल्दी. बताओ क्या लग रहा है? Which option is supposed to be right? What do you feel? क्या लग रहा है तुम लोगों को? देख वन बाय वन बात करते हैं. सबसे पहले बेटा, द सक्सेसिव हाफ लाइफ ऑफ जीरो ऑर्डर रिएक्शन इज डिक्रीज विद द टाइम. टू एंड बी, बी एंड सी. ओके, इनकरेक्ट है ना. B and C. Why B beta? A substance appearing a reaction in the chemical equation may not be affected by the rate of reaction. तो सही बोल रहा है. C. JNB भावनगर ने बोला है C. Yes, very good. That is order and molecularity of the chemical reaction can be a fractional number. By order of reaction तो can be a whole number. It can be zero. It can be negative. So we cannot always say that the order and molecularity of a chemical reaction can be a fraction. So order and the molecularity of the chemical reaction can never be a fraction. ठीक है? Rest all are correct. Done. Chalo. So the next question is, a molecule undergo two independent first order reactions whose respective half-lives are 12 minutes and 3 minutes. If both the reaction occurring, then the time taken for the 50% consumption of the reactant is. So you have to identify the time taken for the 50% consumption of that reactant. Okay? And the molecule undergo two independent first order reactions, respective half-life are 12 minutes and 3 minutes. तो बताइए फटाफट. ठीक है. So फटाफट देखो ध्यान से. We know that देख कैसे निकालेंगे हम लोग इसको. So we know that is K total is equal to K1 plus K2. K1 plus K2. That is the K total is equal to K1 plus K2. We can also write as 1 upon T total. 1 upon T total is equal to 1 upon T1 plus 1 upon T2. ठीक है. And this equation reflects the fact that the reactant is disappearing more quickly than it would due to any single reaction. So substituting the value of half-life 12 minutes and 30 minutes into this equation, so we will get this time. So 1 upon time, ठीक है, 1 upon time is equal to 1 upon 12, T1 इतना given था, 1 upon 3, that is equal to 5 upon 25. ठीक है, which is equal to 5 upon 12, not 5 upon 21. Okay, ये ध्यान से रखो. 5 upon 12. So this is how will you actually calculate. ठीक है. Now solving for T total, तो भाई T total कितना आएगा? So T total आ रहा है जो हमारा T total. So T total is equal to 12 by 5 minute. ठीक है, 12 by 5 minute, or we can say that 2.4. ठीक है. So this is the 50% combustion of reactant में कितना बच जाएगा? 2.4 minute. Now the next question is, that is the number of given statement which are correct. So you have to identify the correct statement. So I will give you 5 seconds till I take some water. So within this 5 seconds, you have to tell me the correct answer for this question. फटाफट जल्दी से, जल्दी जल्दी बताओ फटाफट. किसी का निकला है आंसर क्या? जीएनबी भावनगर ने बोला है सी. ओके. सो द नंबर ऑफ गिवन स्टेटमेंट विच आर करेक्ट. तो आपको ये आइडेंटिफाई करना है कि कौन सा करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट है. ठीक है. देखो, द फर्स्ट वन इज, द स्ट्रॉन्गर द टेम्परेचर डिपेंडेंस ऑफ द रेट कांस्टेंट, द हाईएस्ट इज द एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी. तो ऐसा तो कुछ नहीं है, बिकॉज हम लोग क्या पढ़ते हैं, एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी का जो डेफिनेशन पढ़ते थे तुम्हें याद है, के इज इक्वल टू, और वो भी छोड़ दो, अगर वो इक्वेशन में नहीं तो उसका डेराइव फॉर्म देख लो, दैट इज लॉग K2/K1. ठीक है, ये पढ़ते थे. इज इक्वल टू ई अपॉन 2.303 R, and this is T2 minus T1 divided by T2 into T1. So ये तो टेम्परेचर के इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल है. So stronger is the temperature dependence of the rate constant, the higher is the activation energy. तो नहीं, ये तो नहीं है करेक्ट. Next, if the reaction has zero activation energy, its rate is independent of temperature. ये सही है क्या? If the reaction is zero activation energy, अगर उसका activation energy ही जीरो हो गए तो rate is independent of temperature. कैसे? बिकॉज इक्वेशन क्या है, ए ई माइनस ई ए अपॉन आर टी. तो अगर मैं बोलूं कि द रिएक्शन हैज अ जीरो एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी, अगर ये ई ए की वैल्यू पूरा जीरो होगा, देन क्या हो जाएगा, द रेट इज इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ टेम्परेचर. तो इस पे टेम्परेचर वाला टर्म ही खत्म. भाई ई का एक्सपोनेंशियली जीरो हो गया तो पूरा ही खत्म हो गया. तो बोल देंगे ये तो डिपेंड करेगा ही नहीं. तो बिल्कुल सही बोल रहा है ये. यानी बी इज द एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट आंसर. राइट, बी इज एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट आंसर. ठीक है, बिकॉज रेट कांस्टेंट क्या है, रेट कांस्टेंट की वैल्यू जो है वो डिपेंड ही नहीं करेगी अगर टेम्परेचर नहीं हो तो. सो वी कैन से दैट द ऑप्शन 2, दैट इज द, if the reaction has a zero activation energy, its rate is independent of the temperature. So this is the absolutely correct statement. Right, now the next statement is given, the stronger of the temperature dependence of the rate constant, the smaller its activation energy. This is also incorrect. So only correct option is option number B. So this is the correct option, because if the reaction has the zero activation energy ना, अगर activation energy zero हो गया, देखो मैं यहाँ से फिर से समझाता हूँ. अगर EA को जीरो कर दो, if you put EA is equal to zero, right? If you put activation energy is zero, then K is the temperature independent. How will you say that? Now, if EA is greater than zero, then K increase with increase in temperature. Always remember. And if EA is less than zero, then K decrease with increase in temperature. So only these three cases are there, right? If EA are zero, then temperature independent. Then temperature having no dependency, right? So if this is zero, then temperature is no dependency. Similarly, if EA is greater than zero, then if you increase the temperature, then rate constant also increase. And similarly, if EA is less than zero, it means if you increase the temperature, then the value of rate constant decreases, right? So this is how you can actually calculate this value, right? Sure. So this is clear to everyone. ठीक है, चलो. Now, the next question is that is A gives us B. The above reaction is of zero order. Half life of this reaction is 50 minutes. Then what is the time taken for the concentration of A to reduce to 1/4 of its initial value? Right. So the above reaction is the zero order. So this is the important thing here. The reaction is of zero order. And now they are saying half life of this reaction is 50 minutes. So by using the half life, we can calculate the rate constant and all this thing. So the time taken for the concentration. So we know for the zero order, what the reaction we have. So for the zero order, we know that first thing, that is the K is equal to R naught, the initial concentration, upon R divided by T. So this is the first equation we know for the zero order. And the second equation that we know for the zero order is that is T half is equal to that is R naught by 2. That is R naught upon 2K. So this two equation we know for the zero order, right? So now the half-life of this reaction is 50 minutes. So if this is given 50 minutes, and the time taken for the concentration of A to reduce 1/4 of its initial value, right? 1/4, wait. Okay. So A to reduce 1/4 of its initial value, right? So if this is 50, can you calculate K from this thing, right? Because we know that R naught and 2 is multiplied. This is 250 and this is R naught by K. So if you know 2 into 50 divided by R naught, this will gives us 1 by K. So for the calculation of K, we know this is equal to R upon 2 into. So from this is how we will get K. ठीक है. So A upon 2 यहाँ से आपका K निकल जाएगा. तो A by K कितना आ गया? We can also write as A by K R naught by K. So R naught by K is 100, right? इतना भी इक्वेशन हम लोग यूज कर सकते हैं. R naught by K is equal to 100. Now let me write this. What happened? Because they are saying A reduced to 1/4 of its initial value. The time taken for the concentration of A to reduce 1/4 of its initial value. So let us assume if you want to calculate the time, okay, and this is the R naught. So this is R naught, and this reduced to 1/4 of its initial value. That is R naught by 4. So this is R naught by 4. Okay, and this is T, and this will divided by we can say this is the KT, right? So if you subtract R naught by 4, so we'll get 4 R naught minus R naught. So this will equal to 3 R naught by 4. So we can say 3 R naught by 4, or we can say T is equal to 4K. Okay, so this is 3 by 4. And what is R naught by K beta? So R naught by K is equal to 100. So we can write R naught by K is equal to 100. So this 25 into 3, that is 75. So कितना आ गया आंसर? 75 minutes. So this is the 75 minutes is the correct one. जल्दी बताओ, सबको समझ आया कैसे 75 minutes आया? Because zero order tha. First thing need to remember, this is a zero order, and for the zero order we have only these two formula, that is K is equal to R naught minus R upon T, and T half is equal to this. So T half is given, that is the 50, and we know for the T half formula R naught upon 2K. So R naught upon K comes out to be 2 into 50, that is 100. So R naught by K is 100. यहीं पे छोड़ दो इसको, ये करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, इसको देखना ही नहीं है. ठीक है. So R naught by K आ गया 2 into 50, that is 100. Now we know further from this equation that is KT is equal to this. So just putting the value, because in the question itself given A reduced to 1/4 of its initial value. So after putting the value, you'll get T is equal to 75. Okay. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Anyone having any kind of doubt, you can ask. No? Chal. Okay. So the next question is, the rate constant for the first order reaction is 20 minutes. And the time required for the initial concentration of the reactant to reduce 1 by 32 level is this. So this is the first order reaction, and you have to calculate the time required. So we know what formula we use for calculation of time required for the first order equation, that is T is equal to 2.303 divided by K, and this is log R naught by R. Okay? This is log R naught by R. So this is what we have, that is T. So we have 2.303. Rate constant is given, that is 20 minutes. This is log. R naught remain R naught. And R reduced to 132 its value. That is R naught by 32. So we can write as R naught by 32. Right. Now this R naught get cancelled. So we have 2.303 divided by 20. And we can write 32 as 2 raised to the power, right? Because with 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, 8 to the 16, 16 to the 32. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we write as log 2 raised to the power 5. Things are same. Now, this will become 2.303. This is 20. Log की property पता है. This comes 5 log 2. So just put the value. Just put the value. That is 2.303 divided by 20 into 5 and log 2 value is 0.301. Okay. So just on solving, that is 5, 4. This cancel out 4 times. Just solving this value, you'll get the answer. Okay. So I hope this is very simple. So on solving, you'll get that is 17.3 into 10 raised to the power minus 2. So this is how you can actually get the value. So I hope this is clear to you. Sure. Now, the next question is, A gives us B. The rate constant of the above reaction at 200 Kelvin and 300 Kelvin are given. So if that at temperature T1, that is a 200 Kelvin, rate constant K1 is also given. So K1 is equal to 0.03 minute inverse. Minute inverse. Similarly, at T2, that is temperature T2 at 300 Kelvin, we have K2. And this K2 having value 0.05 minute inverse, right? Minute inverse. Now, the activation energy of the reaction is, so you have to calculate the activation energy. So we know the formula now. How will you calculate the activation energy if we have a different temperature and rate constant? Yes, that is log K2 by K1, right? Log K2 by K1, and this is equal to EA upon 2.303 R, and this is T2 minus T1 divided by T2 into T1. Second, T2 into T1. So this is how you can actually solve this. So this comes out to be log. What is K2 here? So K2 here is 0.05. What is K1 here? 0.03. So this will cancel out each other. This is log 5 by 3. This is EA. This is 2.303. And this is R. So R की value क्या लोगे? Given है 8.314. ठीक है? And what is T2 minus T1? So T2 is 300 Kelvin minus 200 Kelvin multiplied by 300 into 200. Okay, so this is what we get because we know the value of log 5 by log 3. So we can put actually this is log 5 minus log 3. This is EA and rest all value we know 2.303 into 8.314 multiplied by 300, 200, that is 100 and this 6,000, right? So this all thing we know. Log 5 value already given in this question. This one log 3 value is also given in this question. So it's a very simple question, right? Just put the value and you can calculate the activation energy. So on calculating, what you will get? So on calculating, you'll get 2520. Right. So I'll just write the answer. 2520. So you need to calculate and check your answer as well. ठीक है? So I hope सबको समझ आ गया होगा इसमें. No worry. Clear है सबको? That is the rate constant for the above reaction. And how will you apply the Arrhenius equation to solve this question? Now, move to the next one. That is an organic compound undergo first order decomposition. The organic compound undergo first order decomposition. If the time taken for the 60% decomposition is 540 seconds, then the time required for the 90% decomposition. So देखो एक चीज, इस चैप्टर से ज्यादातर जो क्वेश्चन है ना, सभी इंटीजर टाइप के क्वेश्चन आते हैं, मतलब न्यूमेरिकल बेस्ड क्वेश्चन आते हैं, राइट. सो you have to be, practice very well, so that you are able to solve numerical related to this chapter, right? So an organic compound undergo the first order decomposition, and if the time taken for the 60% decomposition is given, then the time required for the 90% decomposition. So you want to calculate the time required for the 90% decomposition. So the formula is 2.303, and we need K, and this will be log R naught divided by R, right? Now, in this, we know 2.303, but we don't know K. Similarly, we know whenever the percentage type of questions were coming, 90%, 80%, 30%, always take R naught as 100. Now they're asking time required for the 90% decomposition. So 90% decomposition means what? That is 100 minus 90, that is 10. So amount of reactant left is R is equal to 10. So if you know the value of K, then you can easily calculate the T90. That is what is the time required for the 90% decomposition of the reaction. So how, from where we'll get the value of K? Yes, we'll get the value of K from the given set of equation. Right, because in this they are given for the 60%. If the time taken for the 60% decomposition is 540 seconds. So from this point, that is 60% decomposition, we write 2.303 again, K, again log, and this is equal to again 100, and here 60%. Then what amount is left? That is 40. So here we can calculate K, because 2.303 is already given. T60 is also, T60 is 540 seconds. That is 540 seconds. And this is log, this is 0 by 0. So we can say log 10 minus log 4. Right. So log 4 we can write log 2 raised to the power 4. Okay. So this is how will you write. So we can calculate K very easily from here. Log 10 we know value is 1, and log 2 value is 2, 2 times, that is 2 into 0.3010. So this is how you can get the value of K. As soon as you get the value of K, just put the value of K here and you get T90. Okay. So you get the T90. So I'm just giving you a correct answer for this question. So T90 comes out to be 1350 seconds. That is 1350 seconds. So remember this thing. Okay. So this is how you can actually get the value. Now, move to the next question. That is, this question is also very, very, very important. That is, according to this question, if compound A react with B, right? If compound A react with B, following first order kinetic with a rate constant, the time taken by A in second to reduce from 7 gram to 2 gram. कैसे निकालोगे? बताओ. Again, this is from the first order. So we know the formula, that is the time required is nothing but is equal to 2.303 divided by K, and this is log R naught by R. But this question is not a percentage type. So one take R naught is equal to 100, right? So we'll take like 2.303, and what is K? So K is already given, that is 2.011 into 10 to power minus 3. And this is log. What is R naught beta? Initial concentration, that is 7 gram. What is 2? That is the final, that is 2. Okay. So this is the time, that is 2.303, 2.011 into 10 to power minus 3. Okay. Into log 7 minus log 2. So we know the value of log second and log 2. Just put the value from this. This is log 2, this is log 7. So just put the value from this given equation and you can calculate P for this reaction as well. So इस तरीके से तुम लोगों को इन सभी क्वेश्चंस को करना है. So I hope clear हो गया होगा तुम लोगों को कैसे न्यूमेरिकल्स आते हैं चैप्टर से रिलेटेड. Everyone got it? So here I am giving you some homework question for all of you. Like this is the first homework question, right? For the conversion of compound A to B, the rate constant for the reaction is found to be this. Then you need to identify the order of the reaction. So this is a very, very simple question. So rate constant is given. You need to identify the order of the reaction. ठीक है? Move करूँ अगले पे. चलो. Now this question is also a homework question. That is, the first order reaction has the rate constant of is this the number of the correct statement from the following cells, right? Reaction complete in 1000 seconds. Reaction has a half life of 500 seconds. The time required for the 10% completion is 25 minutes. So these type of you need to identify the correct statements. This is the third homework question for all of you. That is for the first order reaction AB, the half life is 30 minutes, time taken for the 75% of the reaction. So you need to calculate the time taken for the 75% of the reaction. Okay. So this is all about today class. If you have any doubt, you can ask. किसी को कोई डाउट है क्या अभी पूछ सकते हो मेरे से फटाफट नो कोई डाउट नहीं है किसी को शुड वी एंड द मीटिंग चलो ठीक है सो टेक केयर ऑल कल मिलेंगे और कल इन होमवर्क क्वेश्चन को तुम ट्राई करना एंड वी आर गोइंग टू सॉल्व सम मोर न्यूमेरिकल्स